got to put some rock in this morning.
It's about education, it is about jobs, and you cannot be successful in education or employment if you cannot read. This is right at the root cause. And this beautiful collection of people who are here today, they are also digging in and fighting and trying to take a big, big whack at this root cause, which I think will have a long-term effect. It's about high dropout rates. I'll go through statistics momentarily. It's about a street culture that in so many ways signifies a lack of hope and a lack of respect for human life. And that emanates from something. We can all point fingers. We have to look at issues, family breakdown, economic breakdown, education breakdowns, all the way around. But the issue remains, we have to look at how do we keep kids in school, how do we help make them successful. And it really comes down to trying to hit that root cause of crime. And I could not think of anything more basic than this, because we have to pick somewhere. We have to put a stake in the ground someplace and drive the change and turn this back, and that's what we're doing here today. And this is a community call to action. This is something that everybody is involved with. This is not a program. This is not something we're doing for short term. This is about driving change. And I would hope if we are successful, when all of us in this room, some are younger than others, but I'll put myself at the other end. When we are retired, moving on to something else, that there's a legacy left behind it. This continues and continues and continues. It's driving that change here. And if we do our job correctly, those children that sang beautifully for us today, they will be college graduates, they will be doctors, lawyers, elected officials, agency heads, presidents of universities and colleges, CEOs. Those kids, their success really depends on what we do and what we do today. This is a long-term community campaign. This is what we're all about. I don't believe in short-term campaigns. This is not a blue ribbon commission. This is a movement. This is an effort. This is an all-out war we're waging against illiteracy. And a lot of talk sometimes gets put out. We're going to put it into action. And what we're going to do, this is not something that the city is doing. This is what we are doing collectively. This represents a broad spectrum: city, county, state, schools, high schools, colleges, agencies, everybody, the libraries. Every part of Rochester is going to be involved with this, and that's what's going to make it successful. There are 26 excellent recommendations for action. That was something that Dana mentioned. We're going to get to all 26, but I'm a rather simple person. I believe in threes, doing things in threes. And if you keep it in threes, you finish those, and you start the next three, and you keep on going down the line. If you have too many goals and too many priorities, you sometimes lose your focus. We're going to stay focused on this, driving this change. Today is the first phase. I'm going to go through these very quickly. The first goal, the first key area that we are announcing today is the increased enrollment in universal pre-K. And this is so incredibly important. Over the last year, through the efforts of the Early Childhood Development Initiative and the school district, we have seen an increase in universal pre-K. We are announcing a renewed commitment today to focus on increasing children that are being put in these slots. These are slots that are available to prepare them for school. The slots that are there, and often these slots go unfilled. So what we're going to do is drive this as one of the most important things. That is number one. Number two is launching a focused school partnership program. This is a focused, resource-based, results-oriented school partnership with the city school district. This is recognizing the importance that schools and teachers play in family literacy. Their role is incredibly important, and we realize that. That's why we are partnering right at the hip with the city school district. It's in its formative stages still, but this partnership, what it's going to do, it will pair a corporation with a university And that partnership will then connect with one of 6 elementary schools identified by the school district. And you look around the room, we have a number of presidents of local universities here. We have CEOs here. It shows you the commitment from higher ed and business. And this effort is going to be pairing that. And what they're going to do, they'll come together. They're going to be providing financial, intellectual, and human resources to pilot new efforts to promote literacy and student success. They will work directly with principals. They're not coming in to tell a school what to do. They're going to work with principals, with staff, partner with the great staff that Dr. Kayla has in the school district, and trying to develop a unique approach, a unique approach that will fit each individual school. A one-size-fits-all does not work. We have to design for each school the needs of the children, the needs of the families, and that's what we're going to do with this effort. And last, and then the third, is going to be increasing family literacy programs to the Rochester Public Library system. At the heart of and the center of everything is our desire and our need to really increase what the library does and does so well. What an incredible resource. We have increased their budget in a tough budget here. We're adding staff. We are, and Bill Ansel, our budget director, is not here, so I can make that pronouncement. But we've expanded weekend hours for the library. But we're going to be building on this momentum, and what we're going to be doing is announcing a formal program to expand the outreach and utilization of all these resources to build on our effort with literacy and really make libraries become community literacy centers, as they should be, as they always have been, but trying to reinforce how important they are.
And this was my library as a kid. So I have enormous affection for this community and for this neighborhood. Anyone who knows me knows that I am the pre-K poster child. That if we are going to solve problems with children, with literacy, we have to get to them very early. So I have been on a rant and on a rampage to get kids into pre-K. I'm on the governor's children's cabinet, and I head the pre-K committee. And we will be, we have recommendations on Friday, which will be going to the committee, which will be going to Albany for legislation, which will capture that 1/3 of our kids who are not captured right now. This is critical. We also have to keep in mind that we have to make our children whole if we are going to have them be productive members of our society. Making them whole, literacy is one piece. They will not be whole if they're not literate. They will also not be whole if they're not safe. They will not be whole if they're not fed. They will not be whole if they don't live in safe neighborhoods. This community right here in this room today has the capability of making that all happen. We have to make that happen because the statistics that Bob read to you are real. And they're real because our children are not whole. And our families are not whole. So we have to give every effort, every ounce of our being has to be to accomplish that, making our children whole, which they are not today. I want to thank all of you for your commitment to our children. That commitment to our children at the earliest possible age will increase graduation rates. Right from the beginning, when I walked in here in April, how are you going to increase graduation rates? And my first response was, we need to get all our kids in pre-K. If we get all our kids in pre-K, we most definitely will increase our graduation rates.